Take my mic. Take my mic. Take my mic. Check. Tony Turn. Take my mic. Mr. Rico. Wait a minute. KO Productions. We put it down, baby. Sing it to him right here, Tony.
I got a feeling I can't ignore. Girl, I've never been known so sure. Needing you more and more.
Yeah.
Gonna show you what I have in store. Tricks and games that I wanna play. Just tell me that you're on your way.
Tony B.
Cause I can't wait another day.
Oh, my
And I know you wanna play. Girl, I know the spots that'll make you hot. Maybe ready or not, you know. Girl, I know the place. It's within your face. Tell me that you're on your way. Yeah, that you're on your way. Yeah, baby, don't be too.
Tell me that you're on your way. What's up,
Hey,
y'all? Welcome to the live stream. This DC Kool-Aid man.
Lisa.
I don't know why she's on that side. She should be on this side. Let me move her on that
What
side.
you doing, mate? What side am I?
Cause I'm on this side. DC Kool-Aid and Lisa.
You close to the
I'm
door.
closer to the door. What's up, y'all? Hope everybody doing well. Make sure y'all hit that like button when you come in the room. What's up, Anthony?
I hope everybody's having a great hump day. Y'all know it's my birthday month. Let me start out by saying happy birthday to me. I'm just playing.
You
I'm
ain't playing.
not.
You for real.
I'm for
What's
real.
up, Marguerite?
I'm for real. It's my birthday month from March 1st to March
Oh,
31st.
I don't know what she talking about.
And I'm saying that because after a certain age, to me, and this is only my opinion and my thought process, after a certain age and after going through certain things,
Hey,
every day that I
wifey.
wake up is a birthday. So if
Eh,
I make it to 50, I'm about to be 58. I don't
She
know
about
what
to
age I'm
lie
about to
about
get,
something.
y'all. I
She about to lie, y'all. She about to
was
lie.
about to lie. I was about to make myself older.
Oh, she's about to make us
I was about to
old.
make myself 59. I had to count for a second in my head.
Um,
So,
Say hi to Anthony's wife.
hi, Anthony's wife. Hold on, I couldn't see that for a second. My bad. Hey, y'all. So yeah. So that's what it is. And tomorrow is my actual birthday. I'll be 58 tomorrow. So I'm going to preface this video with a few things. These are facts that I'm about to state. You may not, I don't know how you disagree with facts, but hey, it is what it is. The video that we're about the video and the conversation we're about to have, it its starting point is the removal of BLM from the what is it, Plaza,
Yeah.
from the street in DC, but it's a much deeper and right now timely conversation.
What's up, Miss Parker?
Hey y'all.
Miss Parker in the building.
All right. I'm gonna start out by saying number one, racism is real and America was founded on it. Period. Full stop. That's it. Slavery, indentured servitude, the erasure of the Native American people, Jim Crow, having to fight for civil rights, and now in 2025, it looks like we got to start doing that all over again.
What's
Like
up,
time
Jim?
has went back. America was built on racism. America was built on the backs, the blood, the sweat, and the tears of what are now considered minorities, slaves, Chinese or Japanese. I don't want to lie because I think it's Chinese internment camps when they had a lot of people coming on from Asian countries to work on the trains, the railroad system, not trains. The country is built on the labor of people that got no recognition
Okay,
and a
Anthony.
lot of times died for the right to build your house, to build the White House, to build the monuments you see, to build the statues that are up. I say all that to say this. During the height of the BLM movement, when it became clear that even though all lives should matter, Black lives did not matter as much. And it doesn't matter whether or not you support the police. I don't not support the police because trust me, I will call 911 on anybody. I'm not about to go to the cemetery because I don't even want to call the police. If it's somebody doing some crime and stuff, I'm gonna call the people that's their job to deal with it. Not my job to deal with it. That being said, there was a time there where you could not turn on the news without some unarmed black or brown person, and in some cases, poor white people that were dying because they didn't lift their hands up fast enough, because they had a cell phone in their hand, because they ran a stoplight, because they had a busted tail light, because they were walking too slow, walking too fast, walking too black. Every other news story was about somebody shot in the back, dying in the jail, uh, committing quote unquote suicide. But you weren't suicidal yesterday. You went to jail for a speeding ticket, and all of a sudden you want to die. For a time that you could not look at the news without some mother or sister or wife or husband crying about the death of someone who got a speeding ticket. Someone going in their house with a bag of sandwiches. Someone in their grandmother's backyard trying to get his cell phone out. Somebody running away from the police because he didn't want to go to jail for child support. We watched a police officer kneel on the neck of a man for 10 minutes, for almost 10 minutes on worldwide television, on the worldwide internet. And there was a discussion about whether or not he killed him because he was used to be a crackhead, still was a crackhead.
Excuse the dog outside barking. But this video I'm playing is my actual video when they first put Black Lives Matter down on the street.
So, in a town that is predominantly black, which is DC, black mayor, predominantly black population, but it is the house of the nation's capital, which is predominantly white. They did the BLM crosswalk in the street. It wasn't too much because if you didn't drive down the street, you didn't see it. But it was an acknowledgement about the people who had lost their lives at the hands of the people who are supposed to protect them. And let me tell you something. Here's the thing. If you do the crime, do the time. If you feel like you're going to play OK Corral with the police, I have no problem with you catching two in the chest. But in my 58 years on this earth here, you cannot tell me that a tail light being broken is a death sentence. You cannot tell me that not answering the police fast enough is a death sentence. You cannot tell me that wearing your headphones, being autistic, and dancing in the street is a death sentence. My son, when he got old enough to go out on his own, I had to give him a talk. Not a sex talk about leaving the girls alone and don't do nothing crazy with the girls. Not that. I gave him that a long time ago. I had to give him the talk because he was one of maybe two or three young black men that were hanging out in his school, and predominantly white in school that was not. He was the minority. I had to tell him, yes or no, sir, when you talk to police. Make sure your hands are always where they can see them. Don't make any sudden movements. Don't argue with the police. Let me handle it. Tell him you want a lawyer. Yes sir, no, sir. Because I was more afraid of my son walking while black, driving while black, standing while black, eating while black, than I was of him getting hit by a random bus. I
Tell you
definitely
something,
wasn't
T
scared.
Luck.
Definitely wasn't scared of no drive-by. Every time he went out the house, I prayed he didn't get pulled over. I prayed he didn't ever have to come up against that. Because when I look on the television and I see these mothers, I see myself. I feel something. So I said all that to say this. Uh, as you know, if you watch any news, TikTok, if you watch anything, YouTube, you know that things are changing. They've gotten rid of DEI. They've gotten rid of protections for disabled minorities. They got rid of what's it called? Uh-huh. Hold on, I can't see my phone. Hold on. Go see. Hey y'all. Next time come just to let me know so we can leave free park. Same as I did. Hey y'all, hey everybody, hey Jill's comfort zone. T Luck, hey y'all. Um, they got rid of affirmative action. They are going for education, trying to get rid of the Department of Education, saying we should put education back in the hands of the states and the states decide. The hands of education, for all those that don't understand, it's never been out of the state hands of the state. It is a state by state thing. It's much like laws. There are certain federal laws, but most laws are state to state, county to county, district to district. It's not a federal thing unless it's a federal thing. But the Department of Education made sure that your mentally disabled or physically disabled child was able to have a quality education, or if your child needed certain accommodations in school, these things happen. It also made sure that there was a ramp for your child that can't walk, or accommodations for a child that needed crutches. People think I'm lost at how things are changing and not for the better. I've said this before on here. I thought that by the time I got to be almost 60, that we would not be having these conversations, because these conversations would be unnecessary, because the hatred and the racism of the past would still be there, but it would not be prevalent, and people would be actively working against it. And we would have realized that it has never been about us versus them. It was always all of us versus 1%. I just knew that. I knew as I grew up, growing up in the South and growing up where plantations were around every corner where I lived, and where when I was young, they were still going out in their robes and their hoods, and um, the birth of a biracial child was still illegal. I just knew that by the time I got to be almost 60 years old, I would not have to look and go, wow, wow. Mm, I don't know. Oh, there it is. Oh, I said I the wrong way, so started rising again. I saw that. Yes, it's when I was growing up, the thing was, you can be anything you want to be. You can be a doctor, a lawyer, an astronaut, even the president of the United States. And let me say again, I'll be 58 tomorrow. And there has been one black president out of all the presidents since George Washington, president number one. There's been one. There are 50 states. I want you to go count up all the black governors. I want you to see how many fingers you need for that. It seems like such a small thing, them removing BLM from the street, but it felt like just another arrow in the back, another another knife to the heart, another bullet to the brain. It felt like another thing saying that, yeah, yeah, we don't care. It And I listen to people, the younger people, and I'm in awe and I'm saddened at the same time, because I hear these young people using racial slurs and saying things that they heard from their grandparents or their great grandparents or their parents. Because realistically, how can you call somebody the N word while you wearing Jordans, singing Megan Thee Stallion, while they not like us? They still passing out bags of cotton to black students like it's a joke. Kids are still making those little prom proposals where I may not be picking cotton, but I'm picking you, if they're asking a black person to be their date to the prom. People are still getting married in plantations where people were bought, sold, and atrocities happening. Because I don't know what they think slavery was. Slavery was not just some people working on the field and it was all good in the hood. Slavery was about degradation. Slavery was about seeing a person as an animal and using it as such. Slavery was about man, women, and children being property. The same place they would buy their cattle, they would buy their slaves. In the 20th century, they still had human zoos where black people were looked at and petted like animals. They would put women who were slaves in the prisons and they would be raped repeatedly. Their babies would be taken. Hold on. That is a distraction to get black people to rise against Trump so he can. Yes, you're correct, Gwyneth. Very correct. I had just hadn't got there quite yet. Because what Gwyneth said is correct. What they want us to do is riot. They want to paint us as savages, violent, aggressive, dangerous. They want us to destroy our neighborhoods so that then they can say, see, this is what we were talking about. But because we are not doing that, because we told you before he was elected that it was going to change everything about this country. And we told you that we were just going to let y'all do it. Because the reality is that the black people in America have lived through this since they've gotten here. We survived slavery. And out of slavery came an entire culture that people all over the world try to imitate and emulate. We survived slavery and then Jim Crow. We survived lynchings. We survived bombings. We survived entire cities being destroyed. And we still found a way to persevere. They want us to start acting like what they have stylized us as, what they have stereotyped us to be, the image that they gave to the people that they needed on their side. I forget which president it was and the exact quote, but in essence, the race divide came down to, at one point, it was the rich versus the poor. But the reality was, it was way too many poor. It was way too many not haves. Black, brown, white. It was way too many of us eating water soup. It was way too many of us living in shanty towns. Because think about it. If all the poor, not the races, but just all the poor people in America got together and rose up, like a lot of things, that has happened a lot during history. They knew they wouldn't win.
Thank you, Queen. Tell Queen thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, hold on.
Queen Diva.
Queen Diva! Like Trump said one time, I'm going to say it now. We got to stand down. Absolutely. Hey, y'all. Thank you. Uh, so they had to figure out a way for it not to be the rich versus the poor. So now it's us versus them. So no longer was all the poor people going, you know what, this is getting a little tiresome. We should do something about it. Now all of a sudden, it was white versus black. We needed some race. Because I was listening today on TikTok, and it's actually a white, I don't know whether the creator, it's a professor or something, I don't know what it was. But he was doing a talk, giving a talk. And he was saying how before the 16th, he was saying in Europe, there was no race. There wasn't, white people weren't calling each other white. They were calling each other where they were from. Italian, German, Greek, Russian, whatever country you're from. That, it wasn't white. It was just where you was from. But guess what? In America, that didn't work because the white people, most of the white people was just as poor as black people, was just as poor as brown people. Go ahead.
We are back now with live pictures showing you the work that has already started. Crews have started to remove Black Lives Matter Plaza. And we're showing you live pictures of the jackhammering that's taking place. Crews have to get rid of the cobblestone walkways, the bollards that are there as well. The street will eventually be repaved. Crews will change the plaza back to the 2 lanes of traffic in each direction.
There is so much going on in America right now. Farms are being destroyed, are going bankrupt. Schools are having to close because they have no funding. Hospitals are closing because they have no funding, they have no doctors. Women are dying because of poor health care.
Yeah, it is a shame, Queen. It's sad. When I first heard about it, it kind of like hurt to see this happening. I know that street, it runs right into the White House. It's like the street right there runs straight, and the White House is right there. But like Lisa said, there's other things going on in the world. We're worrying about something like this.
That's what I was about to say. With everything that's going on, the tariffs, prices are about to rise. Um, People in New York, Detroit, and what other state are going to have to pay more because they get their power from Canada. Canada is closing its doors. Don't come here. But instead of trying to figure out what is going wrong, you decide to divert what I know is millions of dollars to destroy a street because it says Black Lives Matter. And that's it. That's it. There's no other reason. We start to when I listen when politicians are asked questions and they're yes or no questions. Do you know this? Have you seen that? Yes or no questions. They don't need a long explanation. It's like, am I a mother? Yes. No qualifiers needed. I listen to them answer questions. Simple yes or no questions. And instead of saying yes or no, well, see, what we need to think about is what did destroying Black Lives Matter Plaza, what did it accomplish? Who was saved? Whose light stayed on because of that? Whose child ate that night because of that? Whose life was saved because that happened? No one's. None. It was a statement of the direction that we're going in now. Women's rights to our bodies.
What's up, Bill?
States are changing voter laws saying that if your name does not match your birth certificate, you can't vote. Imagine if you took your husband's name when you got married. So now, as a married woman, you can't vote because your name doesn't match your birth certificate. The transgender population in America is maybe what 0.1% of the population of America, but every other problem in the world seems to be something that we can attribute to them, but not really. I don't want trans women in a woman's bathroom because I'm scared of what she might do to my child. I would like for you to cite the incidences is when a trans woman has done that in a bathroom to a child. A criminal go criminal. I don't care if they're trans. I don't care if they're gay, straight, black, white, green, purple, orange. A criminal is gonna criminal. A killer gonna kill. A molester gonna molest. A kidnapper gonna kidnap. Doesn't matter whether or not you change the sign on the bathroom or make arguments down in Congress. If you're not addressing the actual problem, you're trying to piss people off. They're trying to piss us off. They're trying to piss black people off so that we will act the way that they want us to act. They're trying to demonize and stigmatize marginalized communities so we will cannibalize ourselves. They trot out black conservatives to say there's no such thing as racism when the black conservatives are getting beat up at the conservative rallies. As light as I am, I've been followed in a store before. Y'all would think that with this, I think they should know. I've been followed in a store. I've been followed in a beauty supply store. America is not the quiet, beautiful country that we want it to be. It is the loud, boisterous, now sad. We're a joke on the world stage. Our president is not allowed in several countries because he's a convicted felon. Our president can't do president stuff in several of the countries that we are allies with because his felon status makes it so he can't enter the country. We have an unelected official in the White House cutting funding to veterans who lived and died to protect this country and its constitution. My son is now in the army, and I'm trying to figure out what he gonna have when what's gonna happen with him.
Hey, what's up, Miss T. Velocity? Partner.
Hey y'all.
Sorry, I gotta keep going back and forth because I'm working at the same time. So
Yes, Black lives don't matter to them. No. When Black Lives Matter first came out, the opposition was all lives matter. Yes, all lives do matter, but we're not speaking on all lives. That's like my house is on fire. My house is on fire, right? It's burning. Woo! Here come the firemen with their water and their hoses and stuff. And they start putting the fire out on my house. But my neighbor goes, well, hey, all houses matter. What about our houses? So your house is not on fire. But what about us? Sir, nothing's happening to you. But we're still lives. But you're like, You don't have to prep your son before he gets in the car with his friend. I just want some of us who are older to reach back in our memory banks and remember cops after cops after cops of half naked white men with a cigarette hanging out their mouth, getting out their car telling cops what they ain't gonna do. At the same time, a black man with his hands up gets thrown to the ground. Sir, your life matters because lives matter, but nobody is systematically affecting your life. Do you know how many black people have called the police because somebody's done something at their home and the homeowner was arrested? There should be none. But at least once a month, somebody black or of color calls the cop and all of a sudden they in handcuffs because we have to see who the criminal is. How many times have you seen a white family deal with that situation? I'm not cherry picking or picking and choosing. Like I said, criminal gonna criminal. Period. End of discussion. I don't care what color the criminal is. If your job is criminal, you criminal. If your job is to get the criminals, go get the criminals. But like I said earlier, if the fine for what you're doing is a ticket and not handcuffs, why did you die? Because you ran a stoplight and you got pulled over, but you ain't pulled over fast enough. You were evading. I snatched your arm and you snatched back. You were fighting. You were resisting arrest. I cussed. You were abusing a peace officer. Because you know in some places it's illegal to cuss cops out. Like I said, laws and statutes, state to state, city to city, county to county. Some places have laws where you cannot raise your voice at a peace officer. You cannot use foul or what they consider inappropriate language. It's considered assault. Because it's considered assault on a person. In the grand scheme of things, yes, all lives matter. They do. But in the real world, the scales are not even. I look and it is so much going on, you don't know what to look at or what to talk about first. You don't know where to go. I was listening. They have a thing called Jubilee on TikTok where it will be one person against 20. It'll either be a conservative or a progressive or a liberal against the opposite of whatever that is. Like a conservative, it'll be 20 liberals. A progressive, it'll be 20 conservatives. You know, whatever your opposite, the opposition is. And there was a young lady on there, regular, degular, smegular looking white girl, blonde. One pretty, one ugly, just regular. But in the grand scheme of things, she would be on the 6 o'clock news if somebody kidnapped her. If you get my drift. And she was talking to this gentleman, and he was talking about America. They were talking about the opposition. He was a libertarian, or he was not a liberal. He was a progressive. That's what they call it. That's a little different than a liberal. It's kind of in between a liberal and a conservative. It's like, hey, I see you, but hey, I see you. And she was saying that America should be a Christian nationalist nation. America should be a Christian nationalist. The religion should be what rules the land. And he got her to repeat it because I don't think she understood what she was saying. Because Christian nationalism is up there with neo Nazis and the KKK and the Proud Boys and all things that believe America should be a white Christian country. That's why if you were born here, you still here, go back to where you came from. Well, where am I going to go back to New York or Alabama? Where I'm going? I am. How many generations am I here? One. Hold on. One,
That sound
two,
like
three, four, five. I'm hold on. I'm trying to figure out what generation I am in just America. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because generation is each parent. Great great grandparent, great. You know what I'm saying? That's the generation. Mother, daughter. Like in this house, it's now three generations. It's you, Brittany, and Penelope. That's three generations. I am on, I think my sixth generation here, just in America. Do I have other ethnicities? Absolutely. In America, you can't help it because unless you're an indigenous American, unless you're indigenous to this region, to this land, you got other stuff mixed in. Uh, Still telling us in 2025, go back where you came from. Sadly, I don't think they realize that the original settlers who came to America came to get away from religion. The original Constitution. That's why there's a separation of church and state. Because no law should be made based on religious morals or beliefs. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Religion ain't got nothing to do with it. Because realistically, the devil can use the Bible to justify just about anything. Hold on, let me see if somebody said something. Y'all know I have my phone hanging on me. Hey y'all. There's only three people, so oh. I stop every now and again. My head kind of hurt a little bit, y'all, but I ain't gonna keep stopping. You're here, and now I see. I got a little echo. Yes, an echo. And now I have my son to think about, my grandbaby, my daughter, people I love and care about, Bomb Squad. And the reality is that America is changing and it's not for the better. Our leadership is trash. I could think of a nice word or a long, pretty word to say trash, but it's just trash. It is. It is. When he ran the first time, we don't need a politician in politics. We want a businessman, somebody to run America like a country, like a company, like a business. If you go to the doctor, if you are going to have a baby, I'm gonna put it as simple as this. When people said that, it used to make my head itch because I didn't understand how willfully ignorant people can be when they see someone who believes like they believe, when they can see themselves in someone else, when they can see their hatred, their racism, their bigotry, their discrimination in someone else who openly does it. Because for a minute there, you couldn't just be outside, talking reckless because you can't do it now. Because truthfully, you're gonna get buzzed in your mouth. But however, I digress. If you're pregnant and you want to have your baby in a hospital and you want somebody to take care of you the duration of your pregnancy, you go to an OBGYN. You go to obstetrics and gynecology. One is taking care of the woman, one is delivering the baby. And at the time when you're pregnant, you're going to need somebody who knows how to do their job. If you're like me and you consider geriatric pregnancy at 37, you're going to have to go to doctor's appointments and they're going to have to watch out for high blood pressure, diabetes, and things that are brought on by being pregnant. And then you're going to also have to have someone who is at simultaneously taking care of the baby inside of you to make sure it gets here healthy. So you're going to want somebody who knows what they're doing for the job that they went to school and were hired for. When you go to the doctor to have a baby, you don't need a brain surgeon. You don't want a dentist. You don't want a podiatrist. Ain't nothing wrong with your feet except for swelling. But guess what? Your OBGYN knows why your feet swelling because they take care, because their job, their specialty is taking care of pregnant women and making sure babies are born healthy. That's what you want. You want somebody who knows the job that they're hired to do. If I have a brain tumor, I'm not going to go to a dentist for him to get it taken out just because it's a doctor. I'm not going to go to a chiropractor because, that's a little more holistic, not quite as invasive. Maybe he can help with that brain tumor because he went to chiropractic school. He's good at cracking spines and straightening you out. Maybe he can straighten out your brain. No. So when people say, I don't want a politician in politics, I didn't understand it because politics is a job. It's a job. And when you have somebody doing the most important job that your country has, which is the president, the leader of the free world, the leader of a superpower, because at America, at one point, that's what we were. They didn't play with us. They didn't do that. America was much more like B613, a scandal than y'all want to believe. But America needed a politician to do political stuff to politic. We didn't need a failed TV star businessman who bankrupt almost all of his business and got his money from his daddy. That made my brain itch. Why would you want somebody who has no idea of the job that they're being hired for, being interviewed for, to be in the job that they have no idea what we're doing? We need somebody to drain the swamp and to take the politics out of politics and to make the government ungovernmental. Boy, what? We barely survived the first one. We barely survived 45. He did then what he's doing now. Do you know that people are dying from measles? Get out of here. People aren't just catching measles and, because the vaccine keeps you from being severely ill. People are not getting vaccinated because I don't know what that is. That's the Department of Health. I don't know what that is. But anyway, people are not getting vaccinated. So people are dying from measles. Polio coming back, by the way, y'all. Polio. And right before I got on here, now the measles have made it down here because the measles were in the Midwest for a little while. They made it over here to the DMV. So somebody got on a plane, landed at Dulles, got on public transportation, went to the doctor and found out they had an active case of measles. Hold on. Let me see if I'm Hey, y'all. Dysentery. Right. Thank you, Leilani. Hey, y'all. Hey, Leilani. Yeah. Dysentery. Leilani, you are all things medical. Uh, if the link is there, hit it. If not, in the comments, tell people why you get dysentery. First of all, let me tell you. Let me give you a precursor as to why dysentery is 100% avoidable. 100% avoidable. There are aisles after rows after TikTok shops and Instagram shops and Amazon of of cleaning products for your body. Booty wipes, coochie cleansers, body wash, hand soap, everything. Everything. Dysentery comes from not washing your hands. Can I say AZZ? AZZ comes from not being dysentery. It's disgusting. Why? I hate it here. Huh. There are There are today. Baby opened up a not a jar. That's not what that is. A bottle of hand soap that smell like cookies. But guess what? She washed her hands with warm water, and guess what? We ain't got to worry about dysentery. Y'all, sadly, this started off with destroying a monument that should never have had to be. There should never have had to be a Black Lives Matter movement. There should never have had to be monuments to that. It should be common sense. But sadly, we live in a place where the color of your skin can dictate how you live, where you live, and if you live. That's just the beginning and end of what this is about. The color of your skin, the country you're from, your sexual orientation, the religion you practice or don't practice should not matter when it comes to whether or not you die of old age. But the reality is that if you ain't right, it ain't right. Not in America. And it all sounds like a bandwagon we jumping on and things like that, but it's not. Our lives are affected by what's going on, and it's a divide that has been going on. Hold on. Ugh, it's disgusting. Thank you for doing that, by the way. And to what Leilani just wrote, y'all read that. I'm not gonna read that, but it's disgusting. But I have watched more than one TikTok of people walking around barefoot and saying that I forget what the barefoot life is. I don't know. It's disgusting, whatever it is. Do you know? Let me tell you something. This sort of has nothing to do with what we talk about, but it does because I'm going to tell you why. I I've stated on several occasions I am pre-internet, so my past you got to go digging for it. There ain't no pictures of it because I hated taking pictures. Before I got with DC, I hated taking pictures. There might be I am 58. There might be 10 pictures in the world with my face on it that I willingly took before I got with her. So I am used to keeping my business to myself. If I'm doing something disgusting, if you wasn't a part of the disgustingness, you ain't gonna know about it. But we live in a day and age where people just get on the internet telling you dumb stuff. Like I saw a TikTok of a lady talking about she only changes her underwear once a week, and she has to take a extra salt bath after she do that. I guess she got to scrape them off, peel them off, roll them off. I guess she chip them off. I don't know. I don't know. There were whole videos about reusable toilet paper that was actually cloths that they use and then uh, reuse again. People talking about how they boo boo, how they in the shower. Don't you? Do you stomp it down? What? What? We don't wear shoes. We don't take baths. We don't vaccinate our children. We drink raw milk. Why is America going backwards? America's turning into a third world country right before our very eyes. When some of the richest people on earth live in America. On earth. Not in America, not the richest people in America, but the richest people on earth live in America. There's more money in one block in New York, Upper East Side, than there is on the entire Midwest. But you got people not changing underwear, not washing their behind, not. Why would you? I saw a video of a chick who doesn't use her inside bathroom. You have to dig a hole in the back yard, boo boo in it, cover it up. I hate it here. I don't understand why we still got to make these videos. There's so much stuff we could talk about, so many people we could talk about. But the reality is that if somebody tells you I don't see color, they just lied to you. If somebody tells you in America it's not about race, they just lied to you. If somebody says I have a black friend, they don't. It's sad and it makes me want to cry because I wish it was different. I wish we all just, if not necessarily got along, because it ain't got a kumbaya, because the reality is I'm not a people person and everybody ain't got to like each other. That's the reality. That's the world, you know. But if we could all just coexist, I wish that they would stop looking at little 10, 11, 12, 13-year old little black boys and calling them men. I want them to stop sexualizing our little girls and making their abuse and trauma their fault. I want the police not to handcuff a toddler because they think the mama stole something. I want guns not to be drawn at traffic stops. I want to not have to worry about my wife walking into the bathroom and somebody thinking she a man because she doesn't dress like you would consider a woman should dress. Y'all get what I'm saying? I don't want to have to worry about my son being attacked because He's a black man. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to love each other, but we can coexist. If you make $5 an hour, man, I make $5 an hour. We both broke as hell. You gotta be my friend, but you ain't gotta be my enemy either. This world makes us enemies. We attack the victims and we feel sorry for the person that made them a victim. We see the disparity when it comes to how black and white people are treated in America, and we choose to ignore it or say it doesn't exist. We look at the successful black people and say, see, they made money. Why can't you? Well, I can't sing. I can't dance. I can't play football. I don't know how to act. I didn't go viral. I just got up every day to take care of my family, make breakfast, go to work. I didn't have a problem being regular, degular, smuggler. The sadness that I feel because the capital of the United States decided that it was more important to destroy a monument to the thousands of black people who've lost their lives due to police violence, to the thousands of black people, people of color that have lost their lives to police violence, to police misconduct, to justified homicide because you wear a badge was more important than our children's education, the health, the welfare of our children and our elderly, the retirement for people too old to work, the education for young people looking for a better way than they grew up. Destroying a monument, using these taxpayer dollars, people are so grateful that Trump is saving America. Using millions of dollars to destroy a monument to what should just be daily practice. It's sad. You got something to say, back? What was that?
I said, I've been working while I'm talking to y'all. Well, while I'm listening. I'm just sad that they tearing up the street downtown DC. I might go down there tomorrow. I don't have nothing to do tomorrow because they said they're gonna be working on it for the next 2 weeks.
You know how much money that's gonna be? You know how much money they're wasting doing that? The time, the labor.
Well, Friday, not tomorrow, Friday.
Because you know what tomorrow is. What is
Well,
tomorrow?
well, we can ride down there tomorrow.
Tomorrow is your holiday. It's the greatest day in your world. I'm just playing. Okay. Oh, yeah. I really thought things were gonna be different, but they're not. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. On the other side of sadness is perseverance. Since they brought us over here, we have had to endure. Our ancestors, our immediate family, us have had to endure living in America while black, living in America while being a black woman, living in America while being a gay black woman. And we have found a way to survive, persevere over the obstacles that are thrown in front of us on a regular basis. They throw a wall up left, we go right. They think they can starve us out, we make collard greens and cornbread. They throw us our scraps and think that there's nothing we can do with that. In some kind of way, we make pig feet and chitlins a delicacy. Fried liver and gizzards, catfish and crappie. We make beats with our mouths and music that transcends the entire world. We put on big hoop earrings, brown lip liner, and all of a sudden we're a fashion trend. We sag our jeans, put patches on them, and you look and everybody want to look like us. I got big butts and I cannot lie, so now everybody got a BBL. Those lips they make fun of, they go pay thousands of dollars to achieve. They say our hairstyles are unprofessional, unattractive, unsophisticated, but go out of their way to get box braids, bantu knots, get perms to make curly hair that we just add water to. So at the end of the day, we can talk about what goes wrong with the black people. We must celebrate that out of nothing we make everything. You want to feel good? Let an old black lady call you honey or baby. Come on, honey. You want to know your children are going to be taken care of? You tell them to stop and ask a black woman, not the police. You see a black lady over there, you go stop and you tell her that you need help. You know how many times I've heard that? So yes, they try to put us down. They want us to rise up. But at the end of the day, we come out on the other side. We make something out of nothing. We make the bad look good. I'm sorry that they won't be future generations. They can walk down Black Lives Matter Plaza and pay homage to the people who died too soon. But we still know what happened. We do what we used to do. We tell our stories. We tell our kids. They don't have to have Black history in school. You know, I didn't learn Black history. I went to a Catholic school. I didn't learn. They had Black History Month, but I didn't learn real Black history in school. I learned Black history in my house, from my great grandmama, my grandmother, from the stories they tell, from my aunts and my uncle, who were born in the 1800s. Not my aunt and my uncle, my great grandma, my great aunts, my great great aunts, my great great great. Yeah, I was still alive with a couple few greats. We tell our stories. We educate our children. We pass on the knowledge that we have. We teach them how to cook. We teach them how to take care of themselves. And we come out the other side. I'm about to get up off here, y'all. We done did this hour, and I appreciate everybody that came through. I want to thank everybody who commented. I want to thank, hold on, did too fast. I want to thank Queen Diva for the, that's not, what is that called, baby? It's not a cash out. What's it called? Super chat. There you go, super chat. Excuse me. I want to thank everybody who commented, everybody who listened, and everybody who will listen. Um, Thank you for hearing me out. If you have stories to tell your children, if you have stories to tell your children, tell them. The school does not have to be the only place they learn. Teach them, your sons and daughters, how to cook and how to clean and how to do things so that they can do things for themselves and then pass that on. Tell your kids about things that went on in your family. Tell your children about history that you have witnessed and survived. Our story does not end. Hold on, people talking. Okay. Nobody will end our story. We will keep it going. We'll come out the other side. I want to thank everybody for joining me, coming out. Tomorrow's my birthday.
It's her birthday, y'all. She
Go
ain't,
birthday, go birthday, go birthday, go birthday, go. Oh, anyway,
she not gonna let it rest. She been saying that since last month.
till March 31st.
Anyway, I want to thank y'all for coming through, share this video because it's important. I got a chance to go down there when they first opened up Black Lives Matter Street on 16th Pennsylvania. What is it? 16th Street, Pennsylvania
Yeah,
Avenue,
60th Street, Pennsylvania Avenue.
which it runs into the White House. And it's just sad, like I said, to see it torn down. I felt some kind of way when I saw it. So it's like I'm gonna go down there. I don't go down there Friday. I'm gonna definitely go down there this weekend. I might just get up early Saturday because it's hard to go downtown when they're actually working and you got the workers and then you got the tourist attraction people walking to see the tourist attraction and all that stuff. There's a lot going on during the weekday where I can just go deal with the tourists and that's it. So I might go down there Saturday early morning because I hear people getting pieces of bricks, and they saving it. So being though I did witness it being, you know, put in, painted, everything, and to see it being torn down is just sad. So anyway, thank y'all for watching the video. I mean, thank y'all for watching the live stream. For the replays, make sure you hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And y'all have a blessed remaining evening. Enjoy yourself. I'm gonna talk to Mel and see if she wants to do a live stream this weekend on a Studs View. Um, Other than that, peace out.
Bye, guys.